Fingerstyle Thursday. Right, let's talk about the right hand pattern, because basically throughout the entire piece it never changes, okay? So this is quite clever. It's a good way of really getting your right hand technique in just by changing the chords and the scale degrees of the melody, etc. Other bullshit music words. It sounds quite nice, okay? So the pattern, just for the moment, let's put together an E flat major chord, okay? So let's put together our lovely E flat, 0, 3, 3, 1. Now, all of our pattern is in 16th notes, so it's going to be 1 E-ender, 2 E-ender, 3 E-ender, 4 E-ender. So we need to start with a classic ukulele arpeggio. 3, 2, 4, 1. If you know me, I use this shit all the time because it is perfect. 3, 2, 4, 1, which for me is going to be thumb, index, thumb, middle. Okay? Now see how I'm always alternating? It goes thumb, finger, finger. That is a massive, massive important part. So we're going to go basically 3, 2, 4, 1, which I'd count 1, E, and A. The rest of the bar is literally just filled with alternating between 4 and 1. But you want to make sure you fill up the bar. So it does involve a little bit counting. So if I'm still on my E flat and we just alternate between 4 and 1, which for me is my thumb and my middle, I'm going to go 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and A. So if I play the whole pattern, I'd end up going 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and A. Now what I recommend first of all, have a look at all the chords on the sheet and basically just take that pattern around each chord so you get used to how they're going around the neck. And just because each chord sounds lovely with that picking pattern actually. So let's quickly talk about our chords in order, okay? So we have an E flat major. So I'd go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then we switch to a G minor, which just involves moving that middle finger down a fret. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and we then do the same with the E flat. And then G minor is exactly the same. We then get an A flat major 7, which is an E flat shape, but basically your index finger just needs to be on the 6th fret. So 6, 8, 8. Play the same pattern. Moody. We're then going to go to an F minor add 9, which is basically an E minor upper fret. Not scary. We're then going to go back to A flat major 7. And then we're going to play B flat 6, which is a G chord, but starting on the 5th fret. Okay, so that's the basic of the pattern, but I'm doing some other melody things going up and down the first string. Now, the biggest way I'm achieving this is it's an E flat major scale, and I'm just improvising on that melody. No time to talk about that right now, but on the left hand, basically, after you've played the chord, 1 E and you can sort of get rid of anything that isn't on the first string, which means I can then move up and down that scale. And because I'm alternating between the string 4 and string 1 and string 4, it sort of keeps a bit of the chord in there with that G. So that's why it doesn't just sound, it sounds continuous, and that's what's exciting. Okay, so on every single chord, the melody is always going to change after you've done your initial arpeggio, okay? So technically, if I was counting, that would leave us on the E of 2 that shit changes. So I'd end up going 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E. So on the E, I'm changing note, 1 E and 2 E, which is the 3rd fret on the 1st string on the tab. Now, I'm going to use my ring finger for that, because then I can keep my index finger there the whole time. So that first bar will go 1 E and 2 E and bit slower. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. Okay, so always on that, straight after the arpeggio on the E is where basically this melody is going to come. Okay, so when it comes to the G minor's melody, we're going to absolutely stick just to this index finger using the melody. Okay, so in the E minor we used the E flat major we used the ring finger, but for the G minor we're actually just going to stick to the index. Okay, I'll explain why in a little while. So for the G minor, as soon as I played my arpeggio, I'm going to move up to that 3rd fret. So I'm going to go 1 E and 2 E, 1 E and 2 E, and then I'm going to go up further and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So let me play that again. 1 E and 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So E flat, 1 E and 2 E and A, 3 E and 4 E and G, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and A. Now the reason I'm actually going to use my index finger for this, because it seems like a terrible choice having to return to it, but it basically, if I play an E flat there, a G minor there, that finger is always on that string. So it basically means I have one less finger to worry about when returning to the chord. And also, going to the next chord, index finger is still there, index finger is still there. So it makes sense that I constantly utilize that finger and keep it there, because otherwise I have to shift it and change it. So you might as well just keep using that finger for the melody. Now, for the second G minor, there's an extra little 6, okay? So we're going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and A. And basically there, then that leads us perfectly into our A flat major 7, who we're all ready for. Now, once we play those first 2 lines, which are the same, we're going to get to the A flat major 7. Now the pattern for this is identical to the E flat. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and same fingers, same pattern, same count, everything. When we get to the F minor add 9, oh, big chord, we're going to use the same pattern as the G. So we're going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so we went basically up to 5 and then 6. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and which leads us perfectly back to the A flat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then we're going to go to B flat 6. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and melody here. I'm leading with my ring finger because it's the easiest to move up.